Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing out there? Doing well, I hope. I'm gonna hang out here, feel a little bit of breakthrough Pilates. We got my friend Jonathan stopping by a little bit, and we'll see if he's gonna try to trick me into doing something hard tonight, as far as him doing something Pilates modality and me trying to figure it out as I go along without the same equipment. So we'll see what happens. If you are in the LA area, around West Hollywood specifically, Breakthrough Pilates will be at the Health Expo on Santa Monica on Saturday from 12 to 4. You can come check us out. You can check out the Wonder Chair and the Baby Chair and anything else that you might want to ask about Pilates. David, the owner of this gym, will be there, so feel free to stop by and check that out, chat with him. He'd love to tell you all about what you can do in here and the benefits of doing these classes. So hopefully we'll see you there. I'm going to try to get there a little late. We got some stuff to attend to that morning kids-wise, but we'll see what happens. But I highly recommend you check it out. There's a lot of really cool things on there. Unfortunately, I am forgetting the name of the drugstore that it's going to be in front of, but it's down in Santa Monica. Yeah, check it out. We'll be there. I'm going to close these windows so we can't avoid some of this outside noise. Whew. Got that. One more. So last Wednesday when we were talking about Jesus Christ, there it goes. It's technically Jesus Christ it goes too, but we're not going to talk about that, right? But I think yeah, I'll grab that. That'll be a lot easier to sit on. Sit and talk, sit and hang. Because we might need it later. You never know. If anything, you can at least just throw this at people. So, like I said last week, where are you going? Talked about a little bit about different Pilates exercises, different things you can do with Pilates exercises. And then what we don't really get into often, what I haven't gotten into often, is exercise choice and what you might say or do with someone who comes in and why you would avoid certain exercises. I mean, sometimes it seems like the answer is fairly obvious, right? One of the things that you'll get a lot is, well, I have osteoporosis, so I can't put my body in flexion. And if that's what they're hearing from their doctor, and you are a Pilates instructor that's not a doctor, don't put them in flexion. You do not have the authority to do that. You don't have the knowledge to do that. I'm not one of those people either. So you really kind of have to stay within the confines of what their medical practitioner has told them they can do. Now, there are a lot of great programs out there that help you work with people with osteoporosis. There's one, I'm going to butcher her last name. I'll say Rebecca Rodenstein. Anyway, she has one, ACE, and so if you are an ACE certified personal trainer, you can go through. It's called Buff Bones. Highly recommend that. A lot of information there. But there's always going to be exceptions to the rule, and there's always going to be outliers and things that you can and can't do. So, another example. I had a client years ago when I came to Equinox, and she had degenerative disc syndrome. And one of the things that we were taught is people that have degenerative disc, sometimes it hurts to go into flexion. So you have to stay in extension. Well, flexion was the only thing that felt good for her. Staying in extension started to hurt her back. Now, part of that, I'm sure, was that her muscles were weak in her back. So to stay in extension the whole time, even just sitting upright, was somewhat hard for her to do. But that doesn't mean that just because flexion feels good that you only do that with her. So just a few things in there to keep in mind. You know, someone comes in, like I have some horror stories from when I first started teaching of mistakes that I've made where I'm like, God, I wish I could get that opportunity back. You know, but we're not going to go through all of those because it was a lot. It's a lot of mistakes. I think that's another thing that people tend to forget when you start teaching. You're going to make mistakes, and it's okay, right? To the extent of like you're going to forget something here and there, and you know, as long as no one gets hurt, you're fine. You know, one of my favorites that, and you know, if you've never really done Pilates before, this may not mean too much, but the exercise we do on the reformer, if you've watched this channel often enough, you've seen it and me do that exercise. Always on 2 springs. And at some point, you're going to forget to take off those 2 springs for your client, or you're going to forget to tell them to take it off. And they're going to go do short spine massage with all 4 springs on it, which is, I'm not going to say impossible, but very, very hard to do. And not recommended. It's not gonna necessarily feel good on your body. And you know, in that moment, that's when, you know, you try to cover it up and say things. Oh, that's when you get more advanced, right? But that's going to happen. But what you can't do are make mistakes in the sense of ignoring what the client says to you. So, you know, if they sit there and say, oh, my doctor said I shouldn't, you know, lift my arm above here until after I have surgery, you can't sit there and say, oh, no, but we can fix that without surgery. Like that's not your role here. You know, so you kind of work within those parameters. As, you know, if someone says, I can't lift my arm up here because it causes pain, okay, can we go out to the side? Can we work some way to, you know, try to mimic getting those arms up if that's really important? And if it's actually not that important, then just skip it, right? There's a lot that we tend to feel like, well, but this is the order and this is the way it's supposed to go. You are teaching the body in front of you. You're working with the body in front of you. And in this situation, I'm working with a notice that's popping up on my computer about security, which I don't actually need to know. So I'm going to go knock that off real quick. Security's fine. We're good. So there's that. I can't think of any exercise. I mean, you know, if someone comes in, I mean, again, it's a case by case basis. So if there's if someone comes in with severe knee pain, we may not start them off with footwork on a reformer. It just so little things like that. That if you walk in, and this applies to people that are not instructors. The bigger trend right now going on are fitness classes, right? Reformer classes, whether that's a reformer class here in a classical studio, whether that's Club Pilates, Legree Fitness, whether on Megaformers, Wonderbar. There's a lot of classes around Pilates that people want to get involved with and want to try out. And if you take that class and say you have osteoporosis, and you inform the instructor that you have osteoporosis, and they try to put you in flexion repeatedly, maybe don't go back to that class. You have to go and take care of your body. You have to take care of yourself and be aware of what you need. And I'm not saying that there aren't instructors out there. There are more instructors out there that are going to recognize that than there are instructors out there that are going to try to force you to do something that you shouldn't. But you need to be aware that those instructors are out there, and whether that's because of pride or ignorance or just not knowing better, Make sure that you know your body when you go into these classes, and that should help quite a bit to protect you from people making poor decisions. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for that one. Right now, we're just kind of hanging out, wasting time, waiting for Jonathan to get here. I know he's just finishing up with a client, so I'll drink some tea. Now, one of the things I've been thinking about is I often joke around about how I say the word so all the time, and that we make it a drinking game. And that's fine, right? Especially if you're of age and you're drinking, you're allowed to do that. Obviously, if you're underage, I don't want you drinking. If you have a problem, I don't want you drinking. However, one of the things we might do for fun one of these nights is every time I say the word so, I have to drink. So, see, right there. I will need someone watching to help monitor that situation and track every time I say the word so. So if you would like to volunteer for that job, please reach out and let me know. We'll see what we can do. I'm sure we can make that happen here in this very fun studio, but I will also make sure to not drive that night. So it would certainly have to be something planned out in advance, and it will not be tequila. I'll tell you that right now. Whiskey, bourbon, scotch. Oh God, that would be terrible to work out with after drinking that, but not impossible. Maybe not doing anything inverted would be good for that. But the jury's still out on whether or not I want to go down that road and try that. Certainly, it would not be the safest thing in the world to do, so we'll kind of take it from there. What else? What else is going on in the world? Oh, here's one. I remember someone sent me this earlier, and man, if there's one thing I fucking despise is people who body shame other people, whether that's at the gym or specifically in this studio. So someone sent me this person they put out a TikTok video. If you want to look her up on TikTok, her name is Succulent Addict 8. She's a pretty horrible human being and has said things like, if you are over 200 pounds, you should not be going to Pilates classes. And I just want to really say, first of all, fuck you. And second of all, if you ever thought about going to Pilates class and are afraid that someone like that is going to be there, I don't blame you for not going. If you are interested in trying a Pilates class, please reach out to me. And I don't mean to come work with me. If we've never met and you're in LA and you're sitting there thinking, I want to go try a Pilates class at this studio, and I'm afraid to go by myself because I'm afraid that stupid people like that will be there, let me know. I will come, I will pay my own way, we will go have a rocking good time in another studio working out together. And I cannot express the complete disappointment and frustration I have in that mentality of thinking, because gyms are where you are going to see people in their worst possible way, right? Now, I know we tend to think about people dressing up in cute outfits or making sure they're wearing a pump cover so that when they take the sweatshirt off, they've gotten swole, right? But the majority of people that I've trained or that I've seen in the gym is generally either really early in the morning or really late at night. It's one of the few places where I will see women who are comfortable not having makeup on and will just be themselves and come in. I've had clients come in who have forgotten to brush their teeth because it's just to come in and get a workout. Now, it's not appreciated, but it does happen. But you should not be expected to look a certain way to walk into the gym. And you should certainly not be expected to be a certain size to walk into a gym. So if that happens, let me know. And don't be that person. Don't be that horrible, horrible human being. And here's the other thought. Yep. So now, we're just talking about fat shaming and body shaming. So now we get to hang out and get some work done. How are you feeling?
I'm well.
Good. Good. Body's doing all right?
It's doing okay.
How did you feel after last week?
Felt great.
Good. Good, good, good. All right. What are we doing?
What are we?
I don't know, man. What's the challenge tonight? What Pilates exercises are you going to do that I got to figure out how to do on non-Pilates equipment? No. This is not good. I can see the wheels turning. What do you feel like doing? What do you need for your body?
I need it all, to be perfectly honest.
You need it all.
So,
perfect. All right.
Do you want to stick to one apparatus?
Doesn't matter. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I guess we could do like a Cadillac workout today.
Sure, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
That works. All right, so you're gonna do Cadillac, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to do Cadillac exercises without a Cadillac. All right. I think we can make this work. I'm gonna need your help though.
You got it.
So we're gonna have to move this, which is fine. I'm gonna move this over here.
What do we move it? This?
Yeah. You watch out. And we're moving.
We could also do the ladder barrel today, if that's easier.
It doesn't matter. No, we'll do Cadillac.
Let's go.
We'll do that. All right. Just grab that bad work. We won't need that. Okay.
What, this?
The stool.
You don't need it?
I think we're going to put everything right over here. Welcome to the other side of the studio, guys. All right. Perfect. Thanks. Okay, wrapped around the cord. All right. So this is the Cadillac. And we'll probably move this around a few times. Wave to everybody another time. There it is. But the fun part of all this, yeah. All right. So now I'm going to be sitting on Cadillac. Ooh, nice. How's this look down here? Ah, sorry, not too bad. Not too dark. Hold on 1 second. Come on. There you go. One for you. There we go. All right. Why don't you go? Was that good? That's good. Yeah, that should be good. All right. So what exercise do you like to do to warm up on the Cadillac, my friend?
Footwork, hundreds, roll-ups.
Footwork here?
Do footwork there.
No, just tell me. Like, however, because sometimes I'll use like the roll down bar. Sometimes I'll get started for the. So, all right. So we're just gonna wing this. Wish me luck. All right, here we go. So you're going to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab. You have 2 bands. Grab those. And I'll grab this. Alright. So all I have to use let's go over one more each. I'm gonna be a little bit. That'd be too far. Yeah, that's too far. All right, you're gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. This way I can whisper, scream into the microphone if I have to. All right. Now he's gonna do stuff. As you can see above his head, there's bars back there. We have a roll down bar over here. We have a push through bar over here. I'm going to do everything, so I'm just doing this here in front of the camera. He's going to do everything over there, using the equipment. This is basically just like what it would be like on a floor, right? So sometimes I might hold on to these bars. You can do this whether on like a doorway, or if you have a couch to hold on to. But we're just going to kind of hang out and see what happens. All right, so what's first? What's the first exercise? You said footwork?
Let's do some roll downs.
Roll downs, all right. Roll down. So he's going to use that bar, and he's going to put his feet up against these poles, and he's going to start rolling down and rolling back up. Now he has that bar to help him and give him a little bit of feedback. So I'm going to use this band. I'm going to sit as tall as I can, and I'm not going to get the exact same effect, but if you've been doing the roll up with me on a weekly basis, you might see some similarities here. The other thing you can do is sit tall and roll down. Is have a medicine ball between your heels to kind of keep your feet down. Inhale, roll up. And come to the top. As you can see, this is giving me a little bit more help to come all the way up and down. And inhale, roll down. Do 3 or 5 of these?
I'm gonna do 5.
5.
I'm gonna do some shoulder circles.
Perfect. And then roll up. Oh, doing shoulder circles now. Okay. So
I'll do 5 total.
alright, I'm gonna kind of roll here. Just kind of help loosen everything up. And then reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then roll up. Woo! It's a lot harder on my abs, I'll tell you that. Doing it?
From here, I was thinking I would do chest expansion.
Just pulling this into you.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you pull out wide here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll up. Oof. That roll up's the hard part.
Down, pull to the chest, kind of like you just did.
Yeah. So I was pulling here. He was going up and down here. So now I'll go up and down here. And I can kind of pull apart and get a little extra feedback from the band here as it goes across my body. Ooh. And roll up. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So if you struggle with that, good job. You can do a stretch to the side.
That side stretch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. As we learned last week, Jonathan likes the side stuff. Alright, so I'm going to wrap my right arm around here. I'm going to slowly roll down to help me get down to the ground. And I'll reach to this arm around my head and reach over to the side. It's like a bit of a deeper stretch. And the lats and the obliques over here. And across that arm. And then roll up. I'm going to use this one arm to come up. So I also kind of get a bit of a bicep curl as I do this. Maybe the other side. Alright. I'm going to roll down. Wrap this arm around. Reach this arm over and stretch. Woo. Come back around. And roll up. Woo. Alright, nice and warm. That's good. Alright. What's next?
Side
Side. Alright, side sit-ups. So from here, I'm going to take this. He's going to hold it over his head. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get enough leverage for that, but we're going to try. So I'm going to come down and sit up. Nope, not with that. Not with the band. But it's okay. There we go. Oh wait. Let's do it like this. No, keep going. You're good. Up. So I get a little help from this arm down here. Not much though. Oh, right there. And I'm gonna guess he wants to do the other side too. I knew it. Alright, so I'm pressing my feet somewhat apart. Ooh. Hold on. This side might be stronger. And it is. So my left side is much stronger than my right, so I don't need quite as much help. Let's arm down the bottom. Roll up. Whew. All right. That's good. Now, how's your arm? How's your shoulder? No?
Fucked up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know the doctor?
I have been doing some PT and stuff.
Have you gone to the doctor?
I went to the doctor.
Okay. Good.
Gave me an X-ray.
Yeah?
I don't know what an X-ray is going to do for this.
Well, yeah.
The tendon's all there and all that.
They're not out of place, not out of whack or anything?
I've been doing some exercises trying to strengthen this lat, and it's a misalignment. It's just like I've just been doing things wrong.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's next?
Let's do what is it called? Let's do I call it semicircle with the
Feet over the roll down bar?
roll down, the knees over the roll down
Yeah,
bar.
yeah.
Wanna do that?
Okay, sure. All right.
And then we'll do some leg springs.
So now this really, we're not going to get much of an assist on in the sense of what he's doing. You're going to see here, he's going to lift his hips up and he's going to come all the way up. Bring the knees down. And he's got to be careful because at that point that bar can fly up from behind his knees. Now if you can hold on to, say, the bottom of a couch or a doorway, you can bring those feet down, try to lift up, and then just see if you can't come all the way up. Bring the knees down and roll. Lift up, come up, and roll. Up, and down, and then we reverse, which for me is going to be a lot easier. The hard part is going to be slowly lower myself down.
Nice.
Up and over, and down, and articulate, down. Whew. Ideally, I want to get my feet to the floor before I articulate. Yeah. Oof, there we go. All right. Nicely done. It's hot in here. All right. Leg springs?
Leg springs.
All right, so leg springs, that's actually an easy thing to mimic with a somewhat inflated ball. Could be basketball, soccer ball, a pro volleyball elite if you want. So he's got his feet in those springs. I've got this ball. You can also do this with a foam roller underneath you, laying lengthwise. I'm going to do some frog kicks here. I'm going to have my hands down by my side, actually right behind me, because this ball might want to roll away. How does it feel on your shoulder? Hold on to that bar.
Okay.
Good. Now the disadvantage that I have, and that you would have at home following along, is you don't get the assistance from the springs. So it might be why we're a little higher.
We'll go to scissors.
Sure. I'm still trying to elongate my spine. And my legs.
Into walking.
And get the slips down. This is a beast. I don't even like doing this with springs. 3. 4. 5.
And then over into beats.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And
Circles. Yeah.
I'm long.
You are long.
In my studio, I have a reformer tower combo.
Oh,
I don't have a Cadillac, so I never.
you know, I have that problem.
I never deal with that.
9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew.
Last thing?
Huh?
Last thing with the foot, with the leg springs and bicycles?
Bicycle. 6. The thing with Cadillac as opposed to Reformer, it's a little more a la carte. And reverse. So things don't go in order like they necessarily in order like they would on mat or Reformer. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo!
All right.
Oh, nicely done. All right. I'm sweaty. What's next?
Let's do some arm springs.
Arm swing. All right.
Let's do the hundreds. Is that kosher?
That's whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. So for that, I will grab 3-pound weights. Sometimes we do this with 2. Sometimes we do this with none. Tonight, we do it with 3.
So let's go hundreds into the series of 5.
What is wrong with you? Yeah, that's fine. This is why I work out alone. All right, here we go. 5, extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2. Extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2, 4, 5. Extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 2, 4, 5. Extra 2, 4, 5, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extra 2, 4, 5, 9, 2, 4, 5. Extra 2, 4, 5, 10, 2, 4, 5. Extra 2, 4, 5. Relax. All right. So how do you do the hundreds with the arm swing, or the series of 5 with the arm swings?
So,
Show me what you got.
I'm gonna roll up. I'm gonna pump, 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 pump. And so, this is pretty simple. Double leg stretch gets a little bit less about the arms and about the rotation.
Notice I got him to do this. This is great. Keep going. I'm really proud of you. I'm just kidding.
And then double leg stretch.
So you're just really just holding the spring.
I'm pressing down. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So again, if you're falling at home and you don't have any of this, that's okay. You can just grab your leg, right? 5.
I think that was 7.
How many are we doing here?
Last 3.
Okay. Oh, we're doing 10.
And then for single straight leg, I just keep it pressed down.
Sometimes with weights, this can help keep some of the pressure out of your neck. You are kind of okay. Single double shot, all right.
4 more. And then Chris.
Alright, so if you can't see what he's doing, he's bringing one, so it's always in between. Woo! Well done. Nice job. That was good. Alright. So, more arm strength?
Yeah, through the
Alright, so what are you doing? Arm circles?
Let's just start with pressing them up and down. I could really connecting to my lats, so if you can help.
11.
Then, before we go to circles, let's go out to a diagonal and press down.
Woo.
Let's do 2 more, and then on this last one, let's leave them here and just make small circles.
And even if you don't have weights, doing this with intent should keep those lats engaged and on fire for you.
And reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Alright. Let's keep going. Let's see something. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more eyes on both of us. That should be better. So I'm doing bigger circles. Nice. Whew. All right. What's next? What is next? What would you like to do next?
Let's do. Well, at some point we got to do monkey because I am so curious to see how you do that.
Well, we'll find out. I don't want to say I'm making this up as I go along, but I'm making this up as I go along.
Let's do some
But-
footwork.
All right, we can do that.
We'll do footwork. We can do the sit up.
So footwork, because I know a few different ways to do footwork. So you're talking about laying down like a tower setup footwork.
I'm not gonna put my head here.
You're gonna put your head down
My,
here.
yeah, my tailbone
Okay.
won't do that.
That's okay.
So yeah, I'll be here.
So this really, without this you can do this from any direction, but you're gonna obviously feel more here, right? And we're using this band to push through. Now the advantage that he gets doing it here is that bar is going to push his lower back into the mat a little bit more. It actually may help not just elongate the spine, but put a little, almost like a small massage on his back. So I'm going to put this on the arches, and this will feel different than on the ball of my foot. My feet are together. So squeezing this in the thighs feels a little different. 4, 5. I'm going to show, I know exactly how I'm going to do monkey.
Cool.
7, 8, 9, 10, and put your heels on here. 1, 2. Interestingly, I thought it was going to be a lot harder on my legs going out at this angle, but it's much harder to actually just stabilize my core. So it's kind of a fun, different abdominal exercise for your powerhouse. And this I'm just going to use more on an individual basis, just so this doesn't snap off my foot. It's going to do 5 on each leg. 4, 5.
I'm gonna do running. Not that much for you, but
Yeah. 2,
I'm here.
3, 4, and 5. Whew. All right. What's next?
Let's do the sit up. We'll do sit up. We'll do monkey. And we'll do tower.
What's the setup?
Sit up is this guy.
Oh, like prep for teaser. Gotcha. All right. So. Oh, that's not how far I want to go. So that really, for me, would just be a sit up. Let's try to come up and just keeping this bar up as a way to give my arms a place to go. How many of these do you do?
About 6, 5 or 6. I think it's just around there.
All right.
What do you call that exercise?
Just like prep for a teaser with a push the bar.
Okay.
So, because generally, like if you have it the other way, right, with the springs the other way, like you're doing a teaser.
Yeah.
So I always consider this prep because you want to control the bar all the way up, even if you're having resistance from the bottom. So that's,
Cool.
doesn't mean that's the right term for it, but that's the term I use for it. All right. So, you doing
Monkey.
Oh, now you're doing monkey. All right. So monkey. Just gonna use this bar. I'm not gonna look quite like him. My head is gonna hang off back here. I'm gonna have my toes on this bar.
Love this. Love everything.
And I'm gonna go as high as I can. This is not far. And press up. And down. And up. But really, it's just gonna be best if I go here. Oh, there it is. 1, 2, well, let's move away from that. Here we go. And come up, point, and flex. 3. Now I could also just do this here, right? If laying down is too much, there. But for me, it's a silly looking challenge and I enjoy that. But it's also really harder in the abdominals to try to keep my tailbone down. Nice. Hey, sometimes they work, sometimes they're hard.
I gotta
All right.
practice that.
Huh?
I gotta practice that at home.
It's hard. All right, we're going for tower. Now again, use the idea of holding on in a doorway. So now we're gonna press up and down. 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're on your legs. All right. Woo! Don't let that band pop off.
So I like to do a tower prep, which is I keep the bar here, I don't move the bar, and then I come into rolling like a ball.
You roll in here and then press up.
And then I just come down.
Oh,
and
God.
I take it, almost like a short spine tower, just to prep for tower. And one more. Then from here,
Then you go up.
I'll go up.
3, 4, 5. And whew. 8, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo. 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach my toes to the ceiling as I roll down. So this band, I'm gonna do one more. This band gives me a little work here, pressing up and down, right? Then as I point and flex, I get a little stretch in the calf, not too much. But where I get the most help, not a spring, but I get the help coming up and staying up here. Now as I come down, the band loosens, but as I press up, it helps me reach a little bit longer. 2. So towards the top is where I get that extra stretch. And then I can kind of press into it as I articulate down, one vertebra at a time. So I get a little bit more assistance on the way back down to the mat. All right. That's good. Now what?
Let's do the cat stretch.
Pilates cat. Okay, so fairly simple. Not really, but you'll see what I mean. Because I'm not going to do too much more than just what you would get from a cat-cow on the ground. He's going to have that bar and he's going to get some assistance and resistance in there. I'm just going to be in here. As I come through, I can bend my arms and kind of stretch there, and then come back through and round my spine up as much as possible. The goal, and I know you've done the first one, is to not shift the hips back. So if I can come through here and stretch and get a deep arch, then tuck the head and tailbone and round back up. You can talk my fingers if I want. Doesn't give me much more of a stretch, but then come through and stretch and tuck the head and tailbone and come back up. How many do these? 3 or 5?
Let's do 5.
5. Come back through and stretch and come back through and up. One more. Stretch. So you do yoga, right? You've done it before?
I have, for sure.
So it's more like a, what are they, chaturanga going down?
Yeah.
That was going from there? Alright. Good. Whew. This is hard. This is really, it's a lot harder than I thought. Alright.
Let's do mermaid.
Mermaid. This one. Again, we talked about last time. Here. Come over. On the floor. And come over. And just kind of stretch, not letting this tailbone come up off the mat. And keeping this lat plugged in as I slide back along the floor. Right? Do one without me in the way. So he's keeping his left lat plugged in, stretching his right lat as he reaches over. He's going to keep that left lat plugged in to come back up. So come up and over. As I reach out, I'm pressing this hand down. Thank you for the follow. Nice to see you. Come back up. I can't read your name because I don't have glasses on, but welcome to Pound. And one more. Back. And he's going to do the other side. I'm going to be polite and not turn my back on you. I'm just kidding. He's polite too. Hey, thanks again. Nice to see you. So I'm sorry I can't see your name on here, but I appreciate the follow. All right, let's do this side. You come up and over. Right. Plug in. Stretch. Oh, that feels really good on this side. Come up and over. All right. And back up. Number 3. And back. Woo! All right.
Let's do swan.
Oh, perfect. If you've tuned in before, oh wow, that just got blurred out of nowhere. Now we're back. Yeah, maybe. All right. You'll know this is my least favorite exercise. All right.
Why is it your least favorite?
Swan anywhere in this room is my least favorite exercise because you're, especially even on the mat. If you're a guy, you're crushing your balls. If you're a woman, you're crushing your glutes. Like someone's uncomfortable doing this exercise. So, all right. So you're doing reverse push through. Yes. All right. So you can grab the bar here. Show me what you got. Show me what you're looking at. Are you actually gonna start rocking back and forth with your feet too?
No.
Oh, okay, good. So he's a nice guy. All right. So really, what works better? Well, it will work better since you don't have Pilates equipment, like a Cadillac. Taking a ball like this, I'm gonna put it in the middle of my forearms. When I roll through, I can press down, come up and stretch, and back down. Number 2. Number 3. One more?
Yep.
Whew. Excellent. Nicely done. I'm waiting. I know it's coming.
What's coming?
Tease it.
Yep.
I knew it. Fucking knew it. All right. Now, I'm going to use this just as a point of reference. Make sure I don't hit back there. But this is not going to be necessarily the most graceful exercise you've ever witnessed in your entire life. But I like using this bar because we can still focus on the breathing. So I'm going to inhale, bend the elbows in. Exhale, send the arms up. So if you've ever seen the Karate Kid Part 2, where he got ready to chop the ice, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing here. And if you don't get that reference, you need to go see that movie before the new Karate Kid comes out. All right, we're rolling up on this next one?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Inhale, exhale up, inhale, roll up one vertebra at a time. Exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. Now if you need help, you can put a weight between your ankles. Help keep those feet down. Oh, you're already lifting the feet.
Oh, we're doing 3 of those?
Oh yeah, I was going to do 3
Let's
of
do,
those.
let's do 3. You're
Okay.
right. Let's go. I'm speeding away.
Sorry, I like to skip to the end. Mostly. Oh no, I don't need to do that anymore. Alright, so just 3. Alright, now we're going to lift the feet as well. How's this feel on your shoulder? It's good, but
This front's a little wonky.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Good.
I think just like mobilizing my shoulder is good for it, even if it hurts a little.
Alright, now we're gonna add a little flare here. So as I do this, I'm gonna come up. Now we're gonna pump the arms 3 times. 2, 3. Keep that upper body still. Roll with the legs 3 times. And everything down. Head and feet laying at the same time. And now, for the jazz hands of this lovely ensemble, we're going to pump the arms and legs 3 times with control, without letting that upper body move. 3. I thought he was going to throw more at me. I was like, oh, no. I'm done. I'm not ready. That was good. Nicely done. All right. What's next?
Shoulder holder?
Roll down with the, oh, like push through here?
Yeah, sure.
Like this one?
No.
Sure.
Shoulder roll down is.
Oh, bottom exercise. I learned this as parakeet.
Parakeet?
Parakeet or sorry
Parakeet
or
is like when you're up there and then you're doing the hamstring curls, right?
But what are you gonna do? Just roll. Show me.
Yeah, so
Just that.
come up to here.
Right.
And
And
then
kick.
kick. And so that side, but parakeet would be this, right?
For the end goal of keeping everything up. Right.
That would be considered parakeet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was taught it was the whole side exercise, the whole shebang was parakeet. Or sorry, or bottom foot exercise, which is why your feet always cramp because you're working the bottoms of your feet.
So what's the order that you learned?
Kind of like build it like you do with a teaser. So
Let's do it the way you do it.
alright, well I'm not gonna do this
Yeah, you're not
with that bar. So but I would start at the bottom, do this underneath. So it would be just coming through here and then up. Well, right, no, not even lifting the hips.
Oh, just
Right, so then it would just kind of get used to that. And then coming back through, doing this 3 times. And then we're gonna see if this works. Come back through, and then lift up, and then we'll articulate down, and then the knees come down. Ooh, the ball moved, that didn't help. And then number 3, and then through, lift it up. I don't want to lose that ball, so I'm going to stay there. All right, now come on down. Let's see if this can work. All right, so now I'm going to come through. Come on up. Kick once, kick twice, and then the knees. Keep the hips up. Come back through. Come on up and kick twice. 2, 1, 2.
Twice through?
3 times. 2, 3. 2. Oh my God, this is so fucking hard. And then come back through. Holy shit. And, but if you didn't have the equipment, that would be working the bottom of your feet. Do you feel at the bottom of your foot?
Oh yeah.
So interestingly enough, not having a bar, I still felt this in my calves the whole time. So the idea of reaching through and stretching there. So that part I was not expecting to happen.
Okay.
All right, that was good. Sometimes I surprised myself. All right, now I think we can do like some stretches, like PNF stretches with the trapeze and stuff.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to angle this up. See what happens here. So we're going to stand up on there and so really, so he's going to be standing up on there.
Whoa.
I don't really need, you don't be hitting your head. So what I'm going to do, pull that back a little bit. And I'm going to stand, because they're still going to see you. All right. So, yeah, all right. I don't need the trapeze like he has, and neither do you. If you have something that you can kind of put your foot on, like so. So really what this is, these are PNF stretches. So we're going to start with the left leg. He's going to continuously push down with that front leg, right? So like 5 times, right? Hold on before you go. If you've ever been to a gym and worked with a personal trainer and they stretch you out on the stretching table at the end, it might look like you lay down on your back and they put your leg on their shoulder and they kind of push into you and stretch you out. Then they back off, have you push into them, and once you relax, they go in a little bit further. Those are called PNF stretches. So that's kind of what he's doing by pressing down. Press down real quick so they can see the springs move. Even on this, these springs are hard, so they're not going to move too often. So as I stand here, I'm going to try to not really lock my leg out too much. And I'm just going to press in to the mat. So I feel this hamstring back here. You can do this on the edge of a couch or on a chair. Just press down and relax. Press down and relax. Number 3, flex my foot. I get a little bit of a deeper stretch on the calf. Number 4. And on number 5, for me, after I press in, then I can bend this bottom leg. And here, I'm holding on to something, if you're holding on to a couch, and get a little bit of a deeper stretch in this hamstring after I warmed it up with those PNF stretches. And now, we're going to turn to the side. He's going to face you. And it's the same idea. So as I press down here, as he presses down that leg, now he can't get much taller because he's hitting the ceiling already. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm going to press down and try to grow. And as I relax this leg, I still stay tall. 2. I was doing that as I was facing forward as well. Number 3, there's just a lot to talk about. Number 4, and one more, number 5, I'm going to press. And then again, I'm just going to kind of bend, get a deeper inner thigh stretch here. And now if you're comfortable with your balance, you can turn face this way. And for me, I'm not going to press down too hard because I don't want to injure my knee. But I am going to focus on, instead of pushing down my back leg, rotating my hip down towards the ground and then relaxing. Press. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5, I'm going to rotate and then slightly bend that knee, my front knee, but I can feel this pain in the side of my knee here, so I'm not going to do that part anymore. And then just relax. How's that feel for you?
Awesome.
Good. All right, let's do the other leg. Staying tall, drive the crown of your head to the ceiling, press down, get tall, and relax, stay tall. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4, try to keep those hips squared off. Number 5, press and bend. Woo! And I'm going to turn to this way because I can't get my directions correct sometimes. And stay here and press and get tall. 2, 3, number 4, number 5, stretch. With thighs tight on this leg, and I'm going to turn this way. And again, I'm just rotating the stick down. And this is not hurting my knee on my right leg. So I can twist a little bit more. 3, 4, number 5, and then bend and get that nice stretch in there. Nicely done. All right. Pull-ups.
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 Okay. Like, which one's the?
First hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So.
Let's see what that feels like.
Oh yeah.
Let's just see. I think this for sure will be okay.
Okay. Well, we don't need to do
the other
reverse
ones on
pull-ups.
us.
That's okay. All right. So he's gonna hang completely. You don't need to go through too much. Just put your feet in there like so, up at the top. All right. So that is was hanging on completely. Right. Good. So that's his start and stop position, right? Right in there. You can come out and relax for a second. So what he's gonna do when he goes through this, he's gonna inhale, come up to a plank position. Exhale, arch his back and look behind him. Inhale, come back to a plank position. Go for 3 pull-ups, and then hang back down in that hanging position. The goal is to get through 3 sets. Now, if we have to take a break between each set, that's fine, right? But if you're doing this at home and you don't have a Cadillac, like I'm assuming most people don't, you're going to do this as push-ups. So it's going to be slightly different, but it's going to give you the exact same kind of result as long as you have your arms on the right spot. So as he's hanging, he has no choice but to pull here, right? So if you think about doing a row, right? If you think about like with a weight, if you're doing a row, you want to pull that weight like the elbow to your hip. You're not trying to bring it up to the ceiling because then your shoulder's going to come up. So as he's keeping the shoulders plugged in, he's kind of doing a row, for lack of a better term, for the pull-up to bring those elbows down. So when when you do your push-up, those elbows aren't coming out. They're not going wide. They're coming right in here. So we're going to keep the whole bicep involved, the whole tricep involved, which he's also going to feel for all of these. And so it's going to be a little bit opposite as you see, but I think it's going to work out pretty well. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. So he's going to get in position. I'm going to get in position. So he's going to completely hang, and then come to a plank position, and then he's going to look back and arch, back to that plank position. And he's going to completely hang. How's the shoulder?
Good.
All right. Number 2. last set, number 3. Nice, done. Ooh, well done. Good job on the shoulder there. So that's a nice way that you can just kind of prepare for this at home on your own. Again, it's not a Cadillac. You don't get the benefit of that stretch from just hanging, but you can kind of feel that in the doorway afterwards if you want. And then one of my favorites is the spine twist. Just twist.
Oh.
With one foot in the middle where you hang your leg over, right? Is that going to be okay on your shoulder?
Let's try it.
Alright, so he's going to put one foot in the middle of that trapeze. He's going to come to a plank position. He's going to bend the knee. Good, just try to get the hip up a little bit higher. Yeah, so at home, lay on your back, stretch and twist. Now if you're on the ground on the plate, I put those arms out and then switch. Stretch. Woo. Now relax, you alright?
Yep.
Nice. Alright. Breathing, since you got the trapeze down?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is where this ball comes in handy again. Where did you go? There it is. This is something, so he was, Tom was talking about having a tower set up at his house. And this is something that, when I was at the studio, when I only had towers and no trapeze, this is how we did breathing with our clients. And we'll see how this works with stability here with no spring. So here we go. So inhale, lift up, bring the bar to your hips, squeeze, 2, 3, exhale, articulate down, 1 vertebra at a time. Number 2. 2, 3. Number 3. 2, 3, and down. 2 more. Number 4. 2, 3. And the last one, number 5. 2, 3, and nicely done. Well done, man. Whew. So that, for me, it was a huge hamstring stretch. I don't know about for you, but all right, let's do one more to kind of cool down.
Okay.
I just realized it's already 8:30.
Okay.
I know, time flies. Stretch with a push through bar or hanging, or I don't know if there's a way to do hanging at home without a Cadillac, but we could give it a shot. But yeah, let's just do a push through bar.
Okay.
We'll do that. So you're gonna kind of grab a bar here. Turn it that way you can see a little better. Now, I don't need to have my feet up against these poles. So if you don't have poles at home, don't worry about it. Just keep those feet flexed the whole time. These are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes over this way or?
No, here, no, over this one. Here, go up, and
This
go
way.
up. Yeah. And then take this strap.
Ah. No.
Alright.
Are these routes Cadillacs?
There. Yeah. And normally, well, the way you hang your push through bar is a fun debate in every studio. Some people say it should be on this side, some people should be on the other side. And we do it because of the way of how much space we have in the room. So you do what works for you, right?
Yeah, when
So-
we learned it was, we always took it on and off.
On the outside.
We just took them down.
Oh yeah, equinox, yeah.
Yeah.
With the trapeze, yeah.
Yeah, trapeze.
Yeah.
I like this.
So-
This is cool.
Yeah, it's for that reason. it was to help prolong the springs, right? And that was also, I learned that when we were using a different company that wasn't Gruts. Now, I'm sure they still do that, but at a place like that, those springs are going to be switched out every 2 years anyway, so. Anyway, not that you need to worry about that. All right, so he's going to hold that bar. He's going to sit as tall as you can, so you kind of stretch and create as much distance. And he's going to press through. There's going to be a little bit of a stretch on the abs. And then here we just go through as far as we can and stretch. And I recommend focusing on letting the crown of your head come down as low as you can. And roll back through. Now, I'm not going to get the same assist here with this bar, but just holding on to this bar helps get a little bit more of a stretch for me out of my hamstrings. And I'm going to come back through and then stretch. And again, I'm going to stop my toes and just drop my head down, keep my knees straight. And come back through. And we can stretch, trying to get this up as high as possible. And then one of the things I like to do here is kind of twist and stretch off to the side. So now I can put this down and push through the top bar to get a little bit deeper stretch back in here. Then I roll back through, come up and stretch again, and come down. Then I'm going to rotate, put the bar down by the foot, and push to the top of the bar here. Roll back through, and stretch, and relax, and die. Yeah, that was great. That was hard. If you tried any of this at home and you struggled, congratulations, you're part of the club now. This is not easy, and I think for me, what was really interesting is that I've been doing this now for 12 and a half, 13 years, and you sometimes forget how much of an assist you do get from these springs, and so you kind of go through. I mean, like the bottom foot exercise, like I know that's hard, but trying just like holding on to something above my head is like, oh, that still gives me more assistance than I remember it giving me, right? Like, oh, that's those springs are rather nice. So if you try this at home, what is it?
I was going to say, which is why I didn't bring up airplane, because I want to get invited back next week.
Oh no, we can do the airplane's a good one. That's good. So actually, that's a good reminder. Next week, we're gonna have to put pause on it, unless you can do a different night. But we'll talk about that when we're done here. Okay. My wife and daughter are going to a concert, so I'm gonna hang out, possibly do this in my apartment with my son. We'll see what happens. But if there's no night, we'll work on that, and obviously I'll put that in the schedule. But yeah, airplane's it's a fun one. But that's a lot like long spine massage without straps on the reformer. So but we'll get all into that another time. So again, if you see any of this stuff and you try it at home, you're like, that's really hard, I wonder what it's like to do with springs, reach out to me on here or on any other social media platform that you know of. Reach out to Yonatan, reach out to David at Breakthrough Pilates. We'd be more than happy to help you with any of this stuff, because some of this was really silly and some of it was crazy. It was all hard, and no matter what, for me at least, it was a lot of fun. So we would love to have fun with you guys, and we'll take it from there. So do you have any parting words of wisdom?
Just a lot of gratitude for you,
Hey
Jeremy.
man, I appreciate you coming. Most people don't like to work out at 8:30, 7:30 at night, so I appreciate you being here.
You've been a big inspiration on my journey in Pilates, and so I'm happy to be here and get down.
Hey, I don't take compliments, man. Like, I'm working on it, but thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun to do this. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next week.